What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every single day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and the Dow Jones Industrial during the week. Today, we're going to just focus on Bitcoin and then take a quick look at the Dow at the end. Just to make the video quicker, people yesterday were being ridiculous, accusing, when it doesn't go your way, you don't make a video. No, I have a full-time job. I'm not like most YouTubers that depend on this for my life. So anyways, let's get on with the video. Don't forget there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. All right, guys, as always, it's not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. We are going to take a look at the targets for this possible flag forming. I'm going to show you some other possibilities to it also, so make sure you stick around. We will take a look at the bullish and the bearish case scenario. First, we're going to take a look at the headlines, but before we begin that, make sure you hit the like button and leave your comments down below. It helps the YouTube algorithm and helps get the video out there. Let's help grow this channel. Share the video if you enjoy it. All right, we're going to start out, like always, looking at the headlines, get a feel for the sentiment. I think you know what the sentiment is, but let's take a look anyway. Market wrap, short seller liquidations help push Bitcoin up through 9,500, which we just dropped below. Bitcoin 896-day accumulation will now spark a 100K bull run. Goldman Sachs betrays Bitcoin. The last time this happened, Bitcoin surged from 3,150 to 14,000. Samsung doubles down on Bitcoin and crypto and Gemini. Why the perfect storm is brewing. Major bullish headlines. In my opinion, just my opinion, that's bearish, guys. And a lot of people are saying everybody's too bearish now, we're going to keep rising. Well, there's a lot of people bearish, but people are turning very bullish now. News is getting very bullish. I still believe we have further down to go. Again, my opinion. Have your own. All right. Fear and Greed Index. We're at 48. We're up 7 points from yesterday. We are now in neutral. We are out of the fear zone, which is another sign that people are getting greedy. People are getting bullish. Let's take a look at what else is going on here. So on the Bitcoin monthly chart, we've had these trend lines. Top one is at 93.40. Bottom one at 85.57. A monthly close above this, bullish. A monthly close in between, neutral. A monthly close down below, bearish. Very bearish. The 55 EMA right now lies around 5,100. I still believe in the next month or two that we're going to come down and test the bottom of this. Again, this is my opinion. Make up your own mind. But that's where I'm at with this. Let's look at my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. There's a link down below. It's got a lot of cool crypto stuff in here. You can put anything you want on any of this stuff. It doesn't have to be just what you see. Any coin, any saying, family pictures, whatever, whatnot. Great way to help support the channel along with the other affiliate links down below. Check them out. And let's look at the weekly. So on the weekly, this top trend line here off of the wicks that a lot of people are drawing off the bodies, and it says we broke it. I don't believe in that. I believe in going off the wicks. And if you go off the wicks, a break of this will be bullish. It doesn't have to close above, in my opinion. Just a break of this. You know, we could break it, come back down. But once it's broke, I believe we'll continue above it. That's the bullish case scenario. A lot of people, after I started talking about this being a possible falling, broadening wedge here, I've seen a lot of other people start talking about it, but the measured move of that, of the break of that, is around the fifth, actually around 16,000. I moved the target down just because we broke below it, so go around 15.7. I think that's less likely, but keep in mind it is a possibility. But this is the key area this week. Next week it would move down a little bit to around 10,280, somewhere in that range. This week, if we were to break it, would be 10,340 area. If we break that, I get very bullish. As of right now, we are on top of all the EMAs on the weekly. The 8, 13, and 21 have crossed the 55, which is bullish. Like I said, we're going to take a look at both the bullish and the bearish case. We are getting supported on the 8 EMA right now, which is around 85.50. We got a nice bounce off that. But one thing I want to point out here is these tweezer tops on the weekly. If we raise above these, obviously it cancels those out. But every time we get tweezer tops, you see what happens. Let's go back here. Tweezer tops right here. Tweezer tops right here. Tweezer tops right here. And tweezer tops right here. And that is a big bullish candle followed by a bearish candle. Although these ones aren't as big, that's still, some people call them railroad tracks, all kinds of different stuff. But that's where I'm at with that. I do think this is bearish unless we break above these over here around the 99.70. Then, you know, obviously these tweezer tops will be canceled out. The 200 EMA right now lies around the 5580, 5600 range. We also have the lower targets off of these bottom trend lines, 4570, 2845. And I'm not saying these are going to happen, guys. These are definitely possibilities to keep an eye out for. As you can see, our volume is declining here. I think we're going to have a nice fallout within the next week or two. So that's my opinion. We'll see what happens. And let's look at the RSI that we've watched forever on the weekly. We had this falling channel. We broke out of it, came back down to test it for support, broke back through. If this weekly closes above here, that's a little more bullish. But remember, on the weekly, we can suck right back down in here before the weekly close because the RSI follows the bodies, not the wicks. Let's look at daily. This is pretty interesting. I've been talking about watching this for quite some time. Weeks we've been talking about it. This rising broadening wedge in the daily where we broke out of it here. And in my last video 2 days ago, I said it might be less likely that we're going to come up and retest. But I've been calling for a retest of the bottom of this falling wedge or rising wedge. We finally got that, and we are getting rejection from it. I do believe we come all the way back down to retest the bottom of this channel here. Yeah, I do believe that is where we're headed. That's why I'm still bearish. But again, we will take a look at the bearish and the bullish case scenario. If we take a measured move of this, looking at it as a symmetrical triangle, and make sure you stick around because we're going to look at it a different way in a minute. But if we look at it as a symmetrical triangle, and depending on where we break out, if we break out by this weekend to the upside, the target would be around the $11,900, $11,800, somewhere in that range, depending on where we break it. Keep in mind, we had this rising broadening wedge that we dropped out of here. And if we went straight up today or tomorrow, the top of that is around 10,800. And that would be retesting the bottom of this. If that was to break, we may gain support on it, and then everything may become bullish. What I believe is more likely, and another thing, and we'll look at that in the 4 hour, but right here is around, I believe it's around 9,800. I would expect a major rejection there and possibly come back down to test the bottom if this is a symmetrical triangle. But like I said, we're going to look at it another way too. But the measured move, if we broke down out of this weekend, would be around the $6,800 range. And remember, guys, the golden retracement for this move is around between 6,500 and 6,220. That would be the golden pocket zone. I've had this 5,400 target for a long time. I'm still looking at that as a possibility. 0.786 is 5168. And we've talked about there being a 4 hour gap down here in the CME futures. And I've explained before, if we take from the swing high here, take the Fibonacci extension to the swing low down here, and back up to this swing high here, which, guys, and that's another thing, we have not broken this high at all over here. Everybody's getting super bullish, saying, oh, you said we were going down. Well, we have not broken that high that I started, that I've been saying we're going down from, and I still stick to that. Now, If we look at the 1-to-1 extension, that's right at 3416. Excuse me. I know a lot of people are saying that's not possible. This was our capitulation and it's over. I'm not convinced of that. It's definitely possible, but I am not convinced. Another thing we'll look at here in a minute after we take a look at the 4-hour is this channel we have had drawn. Same one everybody else has had drawn. I think we were looking at it first. But as you can see, we popped up above it. In my last video, I said if we closed above it around the 9100 on this daily 2 days ago, then I would be bullish short term. And we see what happened. It rised. And I do believe this trend line here could be wrong for the channel. And again, stick around. We're going to take a look at that. Matter of fact, let's go over to the 4-hour. All right, so on the 4-hour, let's look at the RSIs. We are dropping below the 8, and as of right now, the 8 is a resistance around 94.10, 94.20. Looks like it's curling back over. But again, if we look at this as a symmetrical triangle, the top of this to come back up and retest this, if we did it today, maybe even tomorrow, being around 98.14. A break above that could be bullish, but keep in mind that could be a fake out to come up, retest this high, and then just come back in. Either way, if we break it, we're most likely going to come back down and retest it and then continue if we break it. Now, another thing I want to point out here, if you look at this swing high here and swing high here in RSI, we're having a higher high over here. If we look at the same ones on the price action, we're having a lower high in the price action, which is hidden bearish divergence because the RSI is higher than the price action. So hidden bearish divergence, obviously we're seeing that right now. A lot of people were looking at this as a bull flag and see what happens, fake out. Just keep in mind, guys, with everybody's saying that everybody's still so bearish, but the news headlines, everybody's saying that everybody's saying people are bearish. It's more people are bullish. Way more people are bullish. Anyways, let's look at what else we got here. Let's look at the RSI in the 4-hour. Excuse me. All right. So it looks like we are now in a falling channel, and most likely we're going to drop back down to at least retest the bottom of this falling channel. And if it drops through, obviously we could go way down, pulling us hard. I believe that if we have this other drop, that it's going to be probably within the next 2 weeks, maybe even the next week, maybe even the next couple days, but I do believe it's coming. And let's look at this. I have a bunch of circles here, as you can see, and they're just tops. This was obviously our huge top. And if we look at let's zoom into this one here and just take a look at what I'm talking about. If you look here, we'll draw a couple trend lines in there and look at that. It looked like a bull flag, got a fake out, and boom, what happened after that? Now let's move on to the next one. And let's draw some trend lines in there. Same thing. Could have looked at this as a bull flag, which I'm sure people were. And we see what happened after that. I'm just showing you tops, guys. Tops can often trick everybody. All right, depending on where you would look at this. If you would have looked at this before it came down, let's take a look here. Throw another one at this low here. Could have looked like a bull flag. Let's do another one right here and right here. And they say they have a 90% or 80% of chance of breaking up, or maybe it's 70 and 30 of down. And Bitcoin, guys, obviously it's a little different. I don't care what anyone says. Bitcoin reacts a lot different than Forex and everything else. Oh, if you guys are interested in trading, I'll leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. By far the best exchange, in my opinion. You can trade Forex, gold, silver, S&P, Dow Jones, all kinds of stuff. Great platform, guys. Check it out. And if you use my Savy code Savy50 or promo code Savy50, you get 50% on top of whatever you deposit. Savy25 gets you 25% off your trading fees. Definitely check it out, guys. It is a great exchange. I also have a couple other exchanges down there, Bybit and DOWJones. If you want to check those out, they also have some not promo codes, but they also have some bonuses attached to them by using my link. So check it out. All right, so as you can see, I'm pointing these out. Same thing here. This one looked more like a descending triangle, but you can see what happened. If we come up in here, look at this one. I remember this one pretty good. Everybody was looking at this the same way. They were bringing it all the way from back here, saying it looked bullish. You see what happened. And same thing that we're looking at now. As you can see, I have this trend line here. And actually, let me get this off of here. This is the rising channel that we're in, that everybody's talking about, that we've been talking about. Let's draw this off of the wicks here and see what's really going on. So if we take it off of this wick down here, try to line this up the best I can right here, and let's get our touches in here, and our touches here, here. As you can see, we have retested it. We're actually getting rejected and coming down. Now, the other thing I was going to talk about, these are the measured moves here, and that's just of the triangle. And if we were to break out with, this by this weekend or Monday, would be 11-8. But if we were to come back down, if this is a true triangle, triangles would be, actually, let me pull my ABC. This is how they would come. It would be down here. We go A, B, C, D, E, and collapse. That would be bearish. The other way you could look at it is coming up from here. This would be A, B, C, D. We have one more touch for E, and then that would be bullish and up, and that'd be somewhere around the $9,000 range over here where it would get the bounce. So keep that in mind. And the measured move down, the breakdown of this, if we were to do it quickly within the next 4 to 5 days, 6,800. If we did, like I said, came back up to that 9,800 area and then come back down, it would be more around the $7,000 range. Another way to look at this, guys, is let's zoom out again and take a look at the big picture here. As you guys can see, this over here was a descending triangle. Move it down here like this, and I'm not going to draw them perfect. I just want to show you guys bearish. And let's go over here. Actually, I'll reuse these lines here. And this is where it gets interesting. Like I just showed you, it looked like a bull flag up here, right? I'll come down. That was a descending triangle. What was the measured move of that? Measured move of that was about 4,400. You can see we wicked past. Let's do a measured move on this one here. We take this, and these aren't exact. I'm just showing you for example. Obviously way low, but I believe what people were watching was this part right here. And if we took a measured move of that, if I remember correctly, it hit perfect. So let's take the measured move, and boom, got us right down to where we got that $3,200 range. Now let's look at what's going on over here. This is what I'm talking about. We could be seeing here. And let's say we continue along this, and this being our bottom here, but we're going to actually go off these wicks. Let's take a measured move. Where does that get us? All the way down to around the $6,200 range, and that is around the 0.618. I'm still looking more towards these targets down here. Again, I could be wrong. If we break these tops, then it goes all bullish. All right, let's look at the pre-market for the Dow. It is negative 90. Sorry about coughing in the microphone, guys. I just got a cough lately. And dry throat. But anyways, so this was our target for the retest of the bottom of this channel, still around 26.3. I had said the other day that we would probably get rejection on this 200 EMA at 25.5, which we did. The 8 EMA now is sitting at 25.4. The EMAs are looking bullish on the daily for the Dow, but I still believe this is all a fake out. Everybody, just like in Bitcoin, everybody was super bearish on the Dow. Then we're getting this run up. Even the professionals now, it's a V bottom, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe it. I believe they're suckering people in to take more 401ks. Biggest money grab in history, in my opinion. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to click the CryptoSavy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell and hit the all selection after the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes. Leave your comments. I'm out.